Welcome back to another episode of Spaceman 2.0 Phoenix Truth Rising Educare for Life Wellness Show. In this episode, I'm going to go over a few things. One is the simple aspects of what you see before you. Wearing one of these is unsafe. And here's a little website that's dedicated themselves to understanding why it's unsafe to have one of these on your face. And if you look down here, well, maybe it's not gonna, but there's medical articles right there on the page at the bottom, published by our government, on why these things we put on our faces are not making us safe. So, getting right into today's episode, what's going on here? 99% of the people seem to be controlled by a committee of 300. If we get into this committee of 300, written by John Coleman, it's one of the great giants we stand on the shoulders of today to understand what's going on. And this committee has been around since the British East Indian Company in 1727. They call themselves the Olympians, and they decide the destiny of Europe and the rest of the world. Is it a cabal in control? Is there already a world government? So, for 30 years, since they launched of personal computers and World Wide Web, so much has changed. So let's just keep that. Remember the other day I talked about 1993, and Sears Hatton has talked about since then they wanted to change the telecommunication network. So, getting into today's episode about a cyber attack part 2. Another predictive programming, not only in the movies, but the predictive programming is always in the movies. So I'm going to show you two clips, one from Conan the Barbarian, which is, I believe, Conan the Destroyer as well. And that you can see some of the history of where these people actually come from. And then the next is actually a little bit of a part of this movie here, which has predictive programming of the coming cyber attack. So let me set that up for you here. And here we go.
Why is it called Conan the Destroyer when it was Conan the Barbarian? Like Genghis Khan? No, Conan the Barbarian. But the Destroyer is what's to come. Look at these, like Genghis Khan hordes. Is this the Mandela effect? As well as showing you who is in control of our trade routes. Look at these guys. Mimicking ancient warriors, but a special breed that was put to the test by the Mongolians. If we know our history, these people are alive and well today, taking over our trade routes and causing us to pay taxes and tariffs on things, keeping us in poverty. And it's always here, prescript predictive programming, right in the movies.
Okay, so that's that one. And I will now get into the next one here. Give me a second. So in today's movie, dealing with the cyber attack as well, please be aware of this. In this book, every page I look on, there's side effects from these things from every year that they've given our children these things. So now here's a look at this other prescriptive programming for the cyber attack. So this is something that would basically, it sound like this is the economic collapse and a cyber attack in our movies today.
Will announce his decision. In 4 days' time, at the end of the fiscal year, the European Union will impose further economic and financial sanctions on the nation of Greece. Anything else? You're moving, Mr. Fisher.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's that? A client will never get to me.
Your concern is the demonstration. So please, demonstrate.
Data junctions are always encased from tungsten carbide. The only thing harder is diamond. There are thousands of data junctions across Europe, each of them located by classified coordinates. The bigger the junction you wish to hack, the bigger the trail you will need. Then it's just a matter of uploading my files, selecting the radius of the attack, weaponizing everything connected to the cradle. Bye-bye.
So there we have it again, another predictive programming on what's to come. This is just continuously happening. Klaus Schwab has told you the technotronic era is here. It's a chemical, digital, and biochemical new future coming. So if you can just hold on 1 second, I'm going to play something from him again.
It's historical moments, a time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we've never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
So here's Klaus again talking about the fourth industrial revolution. Let's hear what he has to say.
The industrial revolution will impact our lives completely. It will not only change how we communicate, how we produce, how we consume. It will change actually us, our own identity, and of course gives life to such policies and developments like smart traffic, smart government, smart cities. What we will see is that everything will be integrated into an ecosystem driven by big data and driven particularly by close cooperation also of governments with business, civil society. And this revolution will come at a breathtaking speed. It will be like a tsunami.